Hi, I'm Chris Burdick, CPA, creator of EasyBooks by Chris. And thank you for purchasing the EasyBooks by Chris Small Business Bookkeeping and Tax Workbook. I created this for small businesses and freelancers to help bookkeeping and simplify tax season. Let's get started.
Okay, welcome back. This is the payment log, EasyBooks Export and Dashboard tutorial for the EasyBooks invoice system. Um, so again, I have three other videos, a quick start guide, a full walkthrough, and creating and managing invoice video that if you want information on anything not touched on in this, I would refer back to those videos. So this is going to start with some preloaded data um, already on the part where we start receiving payments for some invoices. Um, so you can see right now we're on the payment log, um, and there's blank. There's been no payments recorded as of yet. If we click over here to our invoice register, you can see there's been a number of invoices billed out. And when you look over here, there's been nothing paid, right? And so this here is starting to get mad. This is the status. So if it hasn't been paid, and this balance is not zero, by the due date, this will yell overdue. So this will give you a little, um, indicator as to, um, what which invoices really need to be focused on for collecting. So anyway, let's go back to the payment log and let's start getting rid of some of this overdue. Let's go. I'm gonna go on this invoice 2. So when you look at the payment log, right, there is basically there's two columns that are formula driven. It's the customer and the customer ID, and you'll see what happens here when we choose an invoice. But let's say, so for the payment date, we'll default to today's date, right? So, and then invoice number. So this will be a drop down list of all your available invoices on the invoice register that have balances. So we're going to go with this invoice 2. All right, and you can see when you choose invoice 2, the customer will automatically populate for you. Um, the payment amount you have to type in yourself, which for this one we'll say is 3485.63. 3485.63, and then we'll say that was made via a debit card. Reference, we'll say Wells Fargo. Okay, and then this exported. Now this is very important for exporting into the EasyBooks bookkeeping system. Um, so you'll see this is an exported question mark. So it's basically asking you, have you exported this or not? So if you look over here, now since as soon as these payment logs hit, they're going to automatically populate over here on the EasyBooks Export. Um, so then this here is the exact format that you would just copy in all of these transactions into the EasyBooks bookkeeping spreadsheet, and it would, auto-populate the data on that file. So it makes it real easy to go from building the invoice to billing to collecting to exporting into your into the bookkeeping system. And also here, I'll show you what the dashboard looks like right now. Um, this is basically the outstanding receivables. That's because we have not filled out this appropriately. Um, but let's go back here to this exported. So when you copy this over, right? So you Control C, you copy it into the EasyBooks, you know, bookkeeping spreadsheet. You want to come back over here to the payment log, click yes. That has been exported. So once you do that, you'll see it disappears from the EasyBooks export screen. Now, it's easy when you're messing with one one payment, right? To remember whether or not something's been exported. Um, when you have, you know, multiple payments, it's not so easy. So let me um, go back to no. You'll see this shows back up again. Um, so I'm just going to do this to show you. Um, so this here, this red, highlighted red, what this means is for this particular invoice, all the cumulative payments are more than what the original invoice amount was. So since this one was 34, you know, it was the total amount. It doesn't matter how much we put here. It could be $1 and it's still going to be over. Once you hit zero, whoops, won't let you hit zero. Well, if we change this to 4, then those totals are not making it a negative balance on the invoice register, right? So you can see over here in the invoice register, the paid column has populated. It's rounding errors there, but now the status says paid, doesn't say overdue, and it'll also give you your last payment date, which will all be useful if you have, you know, you start gathering up a bunch of invoices and you need to find that data quickly. This invoice register will become very helpful for you. So let's go back here. I wanted to do one more thing. So let's type in 34, 84, 63. This and this. We click over here to the EasyBooks Export. You can see all this red now. So what this is just it's a duplication error. So if this in export detects that it could be a possible duplicate payment, it just gives you all of these warnings and says, you know, potential duplicate payments detected. So then you could go back and, you know, delete out what needs to be deleted out. Right. But if it wasn't a duplicate payment and you exported that first one, you could go ahead and hit yes. And then you wouldn't get the all the red, the errors. So that's it. I'm gonna show you. I wanted to show you what it looks like with quite a bit of information. And then we'll take a look at the dashboard. All right, so you can see these are all exported no. So we look over here to the EasyBooks dashboard. You can see that all of these payments are ready to be exported. You know, but as soon as you do export, you want to click yes on all of these, and you'll see they'll start deleting from the top. And they'll start, like once they're entered into the payment log, this invoice register will start opening it up. I mean, it'll start populating. So you'll start seeing the balances, right? And you know, it'll give you your status is still what's overdue. So if you use this, I mean, this was just a bunch of payments added in at one time. If you use this, you know, daily or even, you know, every 3 or 4 days, it'll be a very easy way to stay on top of all of your invoices that you've sent out. So let's have one more look at the dashboard. So now things come into focus a little bit more when you have more than one payment. Now you can see, you know, your outstanding receivables. You have $24,000 of outstanding receivables. You've collected $6,000 this month. Your overdue balance, $13,000. So it's time to start collecting some invoices. This gives you the number that are unpaid, collection rate here, average days to collect. And then this is a AR aging, which is helpful for financial reporting purposes, you can see how much you have current, 1 to 30, all the way up to 90 days plus overdue. Invoice status: paid, partially paid, open, overdue. And then this will get fixed, but this will tell you what the due date is, but these are the 5 highest outstanding invoices left, so you'll know which to focus on as far as collecting cash. So that's it. So thanks again for your purchase. Like and subscribe this video, and we will see you next time. All right, bye.